Red VTV's Instant Fan Reaction, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2019 season, following Saints' 40-12 victory over the Huddersfield Giants here on Thursday night. A cold one, but one to warm the cockles.
Which bozo on Sky has put us away in Huddersfield on a Thursday night? Keep it Lancashire and Lancashire games, or Catalan, or even London.
It's not done the world for Huddersfield's attendance, has it?
Bring them up, yeah. Keep it Yorkshire against Yorkshire. It's been a cold one anyway.
Very windy out there. Saints come out, I thought started really well, really crisp in attack, and took the games to Huddersfield. Things just didn't stick early on for me.
I thought exactly the same. Started brightly, went over through Luke Thompson, and then seemingly had our hands on backwards. And nothing stuck, no passes stuck. We kept knocking on, we kept making basic, silly mistakes, and it just invited Huddersfield back into the game.
And there was a couple of them, wasn't there, like Regan Grace. He breaks the line, he beats a man, he looks like he's going to be away, and the hands desert him. And aside from that, he could have been under the stick. So, listen, I'm not going to be overcritical of like.
No, it
looks slippy out there. Listen, even James Rugby made 2 handling errors tonight.
I know. Well,
that's a statue gone, hasn't it?
We were shocked. We were wondering if he's still giving people a chance with that Man of Steel vote. That's it. You don't want to bag players too much. You just got to say you've just got to say what you've seen there, and there were too many handling errors in the first half.
Obviously, I think we kept Huddersfield in it a little bit. They didn't do anything spectacular, but the ball that they did have near the Saints line, they probably took the best off. Obviously, Helens once knocked on for before the second try, and I thought one of the tries was soft. I think it was the second try after the Walmsley error. I thought they just went through hands, didn't they? And went at the line, and Mark Pearce really fell for the tackle and they went over. But
it's unfortunate that it happens, but it does happen. You make a mistake, you get punished for it straight away. And I actually mentioned to David Rigby, who stood in for me in the past, been sat with him, had the pleasure of his company tonight. I just said our defensive line will get breached on making them mistakes, and it did.
That said, on the back of that, we still managed to go in with the lead at half time, which must have been demoralising for Huddersfield, who'd done pretty well.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. Obviously, it was. For them, I think they'd have been happy with 12 all at half time. To be honest, I probably would have been with the mistakes that we made and the field position we'd given Huddersfield. And I think us just going in beforehand, it was just that kind of killer blow to them.
I thought Regan Grace was really good tonight.
Yep.
He always stands up to take the ball out alongside Tommy Makinson. But I think Huddersfield targeted him all night.
They did, yeah.
Under the high ball, and horrible conditions, and he took everyone with ease.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I wonder why teams target him so much now. Why don't they vary it? Because he's not a liability under the ball at all.
Well, that's it. I mean, I always say this about our last play. Last year it was the Danny Richardson bombs. This year it's who's gonna be our last play kicker. Vary it, put it on the floor, put it in the air, test both wingers, test both centres, put it up for the fullback, make him deal with it, make it the ball bounce in front of him. It's easier said than done, but you just hope that that's what people are looking to do. And if you're going to keep targeting the likes of Regan Grace, all he's going to do is he's going to keep catching the ball. He's going to get even better at it, and that 2-year deal looks like it's probably not long enough.
Half time, some of the tweets that were coming in was criticising the kicking game, and maybe rightly so. In the first half, we didn't do a lot with it, but second half, Lachlan Coote found the kicking game.
Yeah.
And we scored a couple of tries off it in Anfarge with the kicks and led to tries. But I think the one for me that stood out in the second half was that kick that Lachlan Coote put in.
And it just held up.
It just held up, sat on the line. And do you know what? I think the thing that told the tale of the game for me was how many Saints bodies chased that kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it would have been quite easy to think it's going to go well dead. Let's just keep our energy and hang back. But they chased it. And they got the rewards when McGilvray tries obviously the silly offload and Mark Percival touches down.
Yeah, the enthusiasm was good to see, isn't it?
And you get your rewards.
Chasing the kick down. As you say, first half. Yeah, it's sometimes I do wonder about our last tackle play. I mean, if we go off the handling errors and not making the correct decisions going forward, the game against Castleford next week will be a completely different story. We've got to sharpen them up. But as you say, second half grew into it. I thought Faj had a great game, especially defensively. There was like a set of 3 tackles that he made, and 2 of them were one-on-one, and his technique is absolutely superb. Getting in at the legs, you can't run anywhere with your legs, dumping him to the floor, letting his defensive line sort himself, but then he went back in for the tackle. If we're going to pick people out, yeah, we've mentioned Coote and his kicking game. I thought his passing again was superb. He's safe under that high ball.
And he organises his defensive line as well.
He does. Lomax was great as well. And Dom Peru. I thought Dom Peru just runs really quickly. And I would like him to kind of step off his other foot sometimes. But do you know what? You know what?
Do you know what? I think, I don't know whether I said to you a couple of weeks ago, like, there's been a couple of players who seems not like who haven't stood out in games. Like, obviously Dom Peru stood out a lot last season. I think he's been quiet early on this season. I think Mark Percival's been quiet early season, but they had good games tonight, and that's what you need. Everybody's performing at a 6 or 7 at least out of 10 every week, and we've had a couple of standouts, but it's good to see different players. Like Lomax, I think off Skyman, Lomax was really good.
Yeah, it really was. That's it, and it's good to see. It is good to see that we've got a level, and let's just maintain that level. Early start of the season, keep getting the wins on the board. Next week will be tough though. Yeah,
and for me, the half-time adjustments from Justin Holbrook, how many halves is that now that we've gone halves and not conceded points?
Yeah.
I think it's at least 4 or 5, and for me, I think the work we put in early in games, where we're running it so hard and with so much pace, you could see in the second half tonight, I think it was about 55, 60 minutes, the pace just dropped out of Huddersfield's line speed, and at that moment on, you knew the game was up, and if Saints got the next goal after that, which we did, then we'd score another couple of tries after that and run away with games, and it's all based for me on the work we're doing early in games.
Yeah, and it's great to see the big minutes we can give forwards. We're giving them forwards, we're getting the fitness into them with them big minutes, and we're able to leave people on the bench. Like, you can leave Luke Thompson on the bench a bit longer. We did it last week with Alex Walmsley. You can bring the likes of Jack Ashworth on, give him a bit of time to get
James
into
Roby got 15 minutes off the end.
Yeah, exactly, and we can get away with doing that, and it's all probably part of the strength and conditioning that the club's do.
Jack Ashworth retained his spot tonight, and I don't think that was probably for anything Kyle Amor did wrong last week. I think obviously it was with Matty Lees being back available, and Jack Ashworth did so well when he had a chance to retain. Well, he's retained his spot based on that performance.
Yeah, it was. I was gutted that Amor didn't get over last week when he was just held up, because I read
when he wasn't.
Yeah,
he was well over. Yeah.
And I read in the week about all the hard work he put in, and kudos to him for actually going out and doing that and putting the hard work in the pre-season. He wants to stay at Saints, and you know what? If he keeps putting a lot of hard work in, he'll get his rewards. And he will get a squad place. And you're right, he's not necessarily done anything wrong. It's probably just Ashworth has outperformed him.
Or is that a tiny bit of rotation tonight? Although Mr. Holbrook might not ever say it.
Well, possibly. Yeah, possibly. So. He might have been given the first 5 games, and then all of a sudden he was going to change it anyway and put somebody in for the next 5. Then the next, who knows?
Driving over tonight, he came up with a couple of good little things.
What did
you have tonight, Kev?
Johnny Lomax and Mark Percival anytime try scorer.
11-2.
11-2.
And I think we were discussing the handicap. We're going, we're well better than 8, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what did we take?
-26.
Yes.
We'll take that as well.
We'll take that all every day of the week.
Make up for junctions 10 to 12
being shot. Yeah, cheer us up. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe on the video. Don't forget that we're doing the Saints sleep out tomorrow night, or tonight if you're watching this on Friday. I hope it's not as cold as this, Kev. I've got a sleeping bag.
I'm going to be dressed exactly the same as this.
So we'll do some live videos tomorrow night. If you can drop a couple of quid to support the Saints Community Foundation, Teardrops Helping the Homeless and YMCA Sports. I'm getting good at this. We would fully appreciate it. I'll put the link to the GoFundMe account below. Do appreciate all your support on it. And we will see you tomorrow night at the very, very cold Totally Wicked Stadium. And I'll get Kev snoring. See you later.